Time for another edition of the Cougar Coaches Show on Mediacom Channel 22 as we talk Cougar volleyball with the head coach Melinda Roy Washington. My name is Cosmo, work with Zimmer Radio Group, ESPN Radio 100.5 and now on 103.1. And we'll just get it out of the way, this whole streak thing. I know everybody we were kind of talking about before we started filming, but it is, I mean, if you think about it, in in-conference play, regular season matches, the Columbia College volleyball team has not lost in now 152 regular season matches, going all the way back to 02 or 03, which is a long time ago.
I remember.
You remember it. You do.
Game.
You remember the game.
Yes.
Was that here? Was it at Southwell? And we'll ignore that. I saw that look,
Yeah,
and okay,
well.
never mind. But I mean, it's something that it keeps kind of coming up a little bit, and people ask about it. And I know it was asked, just here most recently because of the visit from MoBAP coming in. It seems like that squad right now is the big rival, at least in conference play, as far as bringing the game. Obviously, what happened a year ago in the tournament, and then they're in the top 20 at number 15, and you guys had them here this past week, and it was another hard-fought 3-1 win for you guys.
Yeah, our conference is getting better. We have two teams now ranked nationally in the top 25, so I think that's an improvement for the AMC conference, and definitely that we welcome that. Better competition for us is going to make us a better team in the end, and especially a double round robin where we also have a chance to see them at the end of the year tournament as well. So MoBAP's a good team. They moved up in the ratings this week to 13 from 15, so they're moving up, which is good for us as well. And, it's nice to have teams to give us solid competition within the conference.
Right, because in the early half of your schedule, you're playing some of those top 25 teams in tournaments all over the country, trying to get that level, as we've talked before, about trying to get a gauge of exactly where your ladies are at early in the year, so you know exactly how to work on things to get ready for the push down the stretch of the season as you kind of break the year into three parts. And to have more competition in the AMC conference definitely helps that. And I think, with the loss of McKendree a few years ago, I said the word, I'm sorry, I said McKendree, I know, but it's good to see some of those other teams kind of come back up, and and Woods has been up and down and back and forth, but to see MoBAP, they've really kind of risen to the occasion to be that rival right there next to you guys.
They have, and it's good. We try to find a balance with those nationally ranked opponents. We try to get out as much as we can and play, a few tournaments here and there where we see those competitive nationally ranked teams outside of the conference. But as you said, it's just great. William Woods even was getting some looks in that rating at some point as a rateable team, and it just helps us across the board to have both the balance outside of the conference play and now to have the balance in the conference play, having some top opponents there. It really helps a lot.
Columbia College, number 3 in the country, kind of holding set there, obviously, because the top 2 teams, they're not going anywhere either. Everybody keeps winning. You don't really see much movement in the top 25, but again, into the conference, talking about MoBAP. Explain to the folks as far as how the conference breakdown will go, as far as the tournament, how the seedings work. Is there buys? How does that play out?
We have a double round robin in the conference play, so your overall record goes, the top 4 seeds will host, so the top 8 teams in the conference, as far as the conference standings, will play in the postseason. The 4 highest seeds host the first night, and then the top 2 remaining seeds host Thursday night, and then the final championship game will be hosted at the highest remaining seed on Saturday. So right now, as long as we keep winning, we would host all the way through.
Most definitely here at Southwell Complex. And again, the brackets are available online now. The conference tournament winner automatic bid to the national tournament, and then there are some at-large bids too, correct, in case you end up getting upset as what happened a year ago in the conference tournament.
Right, and it's good that MoBAP is up there in that ranking this week at 13, and I expect them to keep rising with some teams having some matchups ahead of them, and they've had a good season. They've only got the 2 losses, both coming to us, home and away. So that at-large, they're in the at-large range right now, which is good. So that means we're going to get 2 out of our conference. Park's right there on their heels. They've taken MoBAP to 5 twice, so they're another force there. And they're a good team. They've had some losses throughout their season that have kind of held them back in the rankings, the national rating, but a very strong team. And
again, it goes back to kind of the blessing, at least, of the betterment of the AMC tournament, which just continues to force you guys to play at a higher level. Not that you don't have a team that plays at a higher level all the time anyways, but that conference tournament, obviously a big one. And then the national tournament is where this year? Back in
Sioux City.
And that's a constant? Is that there for quite a while?
It's there for a while.
Okay. Some of these tournaments are bidded out after every 5 years, but quite a facility and another run for the Cougars in the offing, hopefully for that, a trip back to the national tournament. But still a couple of regular season matches left. and then the conference tournament, the full setup. That coming your way. Got something different for Coach Washington coming up next. We're going to do a little word association. Keep her on her toes
boy.
here on the Coaches Show, talking Cougar volleyball next year on ColumbiaCougars.com.